Fools rush in where angels fear to tread. Unquote. But I would think, quote, fool? Well, maybe, but that is the way I am. My Guru Maharaj was always very, very affectionate to me. When I offered obeisances, he used to return, thou sost me, I am your servant. Very good. What a great humility. So now we will continue. Sometime as Srila Bhakti Siddhanta paced back and forth, chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra aloud, while fingering his beads, Abhay would enter the room and also chant, walking alongside his spiritual master. Once when Abhay entered Srila Bhakti Siddhanta room, his spiritual master was sitting on a couch, and Abhay took his seat beside him on an equal level. But then he noticed that all the other disciples in the room were sitting on a lower level, at their spiritual master feet. Abhay kept his seat, and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said nothing of it. But Abhay never again sat on an equal level with his spiritual master. Haribol. So many times I met with sannyasis. When they visit, I always sit on the floor and they say, no, you sit on the sofa. I say, no. This is the etiquette we should maintain. Because we are less advanced than themselves, so there must be some respect. Once in a room with many disciples, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj was speaking and Abhay was listening. When an old man beside Abhay motioned to him, as Abhay leaned over to hear what the man wanted, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta suddenly spoke out in annoyance at the two apparently inattentive students. What a great class would be to imagine that nobody can speak anything, just hear. I think that if we get experience, how wonderful it would be. Quote, Babu, he first addressed the old man beside Abhay. Quote, do you think you have purchased me with your 150 rupees per month donation? Unquote. And then, turning to Abhay, quote, why don't you come up here and speak instead of me? Unquote. Abhay was outwardly mortified, yet he treasured the rebuke. It was in a private meeting that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta once told Abhay of the risks that he took by preaching so boldly. This is something very nice when the spiritual master, when you are alone with the spiritual master and they reveal something about their life, it's so pleasing to the heart. I have many times heard from my Guru Maharaj. Srila Prabhupada putting in his own words, my Guru Maharaj's contribution is that he defeated the caste Goswamis. He defeated this Brahmanism. He did it the same way as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Kiba Vipra, Kiba Nyasi, Shudra Kenenai, Ye Krishna Tattva Veta, Shai Guru Hai. There is no consideration whether one is a sannyasi, a brahmana, a shudra, or a grahastha. No. Anyone who knows the science of Krishna is all right. He is Goswami and he is Brahmana. Haribo. But no one else taught that since Lord Chaitanya, this was my Guru Maharaj's contribution. And for this reason, he had to face so many vehement protests from these Brahmana caste Goswamis. What a trouble they have gone through, right? But they never give up the principle. Once they conspired to kill him, my Guru Maharaj told me personally, this intimate thing Guru always shared with his dearmost disciple. Otherwise, it's difficult to know the heart of our spiritual master. Prabhupada, we can see how dear must be. My Guru Maharaj told me personally, by his grace, when we used to meet alone, he used to talk about so many things. He was so kind that he used to talk with me. And he personally told me that these people, quote, they wanted to kill me, unquote. They collected 25,000 rupees and went to bribe the police officer in charge of the area. Look at this, what the people, how fallen they can become, saying, quote, you take this 25,000 rupees, we shall do something against Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, and you don't take any steps, unquote. He could understand that they wanted to kill him, so the police officer frankly came to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. Quote, of course, we accept bribes and we indulge in such things. How truthful he is, huh? But not for a sadhu, not for a saintly person. I cannot dare, unquote. So the police officer refused and said to my Guru Maharaj, quote, you take care. This is the position, unquote. So vehemently they protested. But he liked boldness in his disciples. Abhay heard of an occasion when one of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati disciple had been very outspoken at a public meeting and had denounced a highly regarded Mayavadi monk as a foolish priest. The remark had caused a disruption at the meeting, as some of the disciples reported the incident to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, thinking that he would be displeased that his disciple had caused a disturbance. But what in reality happened? Srila Bhaktisiddhanta was pleased and he remarked, quote, he has done very well, unquote. His displeasure occurred rather when he heard of someone's compromise. This thing, incident, Srila Prabhupada is putting in his own words as follows. When my Guru Maharaj was present, even big scholars were afraid to talk with, even his beginning students. My Guru Maharaj was called living encyclopedia. He could talk with anyone on any subject. He was so learned and no compromise. So-called saints, avatars, yogis, everyone who was false was an enemy to my Guru Maharaj. He never compromised. Some God brothers complained that this preaching was a chopping technique and it would not be successful. But those who criticized him fell down. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was known as the Simha, Lion Guru. You know, I was talking to one of the devotees seeking the shelter of his spiritual master. I think he realized this truth. He was saying that, you know, I like so many Maharajas, but also I'm looking for the Maharaj who is like a Simha lion. Very nice realization. On occasion, when he saw someone he knew to be a proponent of impersonalism, he would call that person over and challenge, quote, "Why are you cheating the people with Mayavad philosophy?" And he would often tell his disciple not to compromise. Quote, "Why should you go flatter?" Unquote. He would say, quote, "You should speak the plain truth without any flattery. Money will come anyway." Unquote. What a wonderful instructions. Whenever Srila Bhaktisiddhanta wrote or spoke the Vaishnava philosophy, he was uncompromising. The conclusion was according to the Shastra and the logic strong. But sometimes Abhay would hear his spiritual master express the eternal teaching in a unique way that Abhay knew he would never forget. Quote, "Don't try to see God," unquote. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta would say, quote, "but act in such a way that God sees you," unquote. Hare Krishna. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta condemned temple proprietors who made a business of showing the deity for a living. Hari Bol. To be a sweeper in the street was more honorable, he said. He coined a Bengali phrase, "Salagram dwara badam bhanga." Quote, "The priests are taking the Saligram deity as a stone for cracking nuts." Unquote. In other words, if a person shows the Saligram form of the Lord or any form of the deity simply with a view to make money, then he is seeing the deity not as the Lord, but as a stone, a means for earning his livelihood. Hare Krishna. Abhay had the opportunity to see his spiritual master deal with the nationalist Subhash Chandra Bose, who had been Abhay's schoolmate at Scottish Church College. Bose had come in a somewhat critical mood, concerned about Srila Bhaktisiddhanta recruiting young men into religious life. So Srila Prabhupada is putting in his own words as follows. Subhash Chandra Bose came to my Guru Maharaj and said, quote, "So many people you have captured. They are doing nothing for nationalism," unquote. My Guru Maharaj replied, quote, "Well, for your national propaganda, you require very strong men. But these people are very weak. You can see they are very skinny. So don't put your glance upon them. Let them eat something and chant Hare Krishna," unquote. In this way, he avoided him. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta used to say that when the day came when High Court judges were devotees of Krishna with Vaishnava tilak on their foreheads, then he would know that the mission of spreading Krishna consciousness was becoming successful. Haribol. At least now the Tulsi Gabbard, who is very much into Krishna consciousness, has become one of the cabinet member in Trump's government. Wonderful. He said that Jesus Christ was a Saktaves avatar, an empowered incarnation of God. Quote, how can it be otherwise? He said. He sacrificed everything for God. Hare Bol. In his scholarly language, he declared, quote, the materialistic demeanor cannot possibly stretch to the transcendental autocrat. You know, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj book, even the English person has to open the dictionary many times. He was really his very high quality of English. But sometimes in speech, he phrased it in a more down-to-earth way. Quote, the mundane scholars who are trying to understand the Supreme Lord by their senses and mental speculations are like a person trying to taste the honey in a bottle by licking outside of the bottle. Unquote. Philosophy without religion, he said, is dry speculation. And religion without philosophy is sentiment and sometimes fanaticism. Haribol. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati said that the whole world was simply a society of cheaters and cheated. This is something that we have to really learn from this sentence. Why we found somebody to get us cheated? Because we want to get cheated. This is a far out sense that I have seen in practical life. There is something that you will come in contact with the cheaters if your motives are not pure. Something you are seeking materially. Then and then you will approach and get in touch with the cheater. Otherwise, if you have a plain vision, you will not be get cheated. Haribol. He gave the example, look at this, that loose woman often visits certain holy place in India with the idea of seducing the sadhus, thinking that to have a child by a sadhu is prestigious. And immoral men dress themselves as sadhus, hoping to be seduced by the cheating woman. His conclusion, Haribol, a person should aspire to leave the material world and go back to Godhead because, listen this sentence, this material world is not a fit place for a gentleman. Haribol. Abhay saw that when disciple asked his spiritual master about something in the future, he never replied, quote, yes, it is going to happen, unquote. Or he will say, yes, we are going to do it. Rather, he would say, yes, if Krishna desired, it may be. Because we don't know. Krishna knows everything. And if Krishna desire to happen that anything, it will happen, otherwise it won't. So always we should say that if anything happens, it's by the will of Krishna. Sometimes it's hard to take in our life that is not pleasing to the thoughts that we would like to have. We feel, why those things happen to me? But believe me, Krishna has some plan. Otherwise, it will never happen in your life. Haribol. Yes, if Krishna desired, it may be. Although in his younger years, he had been an astrologer and able to predict the future, he had given it up. Haribol. Completely dependent on Krishna. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta was a lifetime brahmachari. and was very strict about avoiding association with women. The scripture said that we should not, the sannyasi should not even look at the wooden doll. Haribol. Once Abhay was sitting with his spiritual master when another disciple was present along with his young wife. The wife asked Srila Bhaktisiddhanta if she might speak with him privately. But he replied, quote, no, whatever it is, you can ask here. I cannot see you in private. Unquote. Abhay was impressed by this. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta was in 60s, and the girl could have been his granddaughter. Regardless, he would not speak with any woman alone. My Guru Maharaj used to follow this because as I was the TP, he will always ask me to sit beside him with the Matajis in the room. Otherwise, he will never speak. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta liked to make his disciple into sannyasis. But one day, one of his sannyas disciple was forcibly dragged away by his wife. In tears, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta lamented that he was unable to save that soul. Yet, he did not speak disparagingly of Krishna conscious family life. Quote, I would have sex hundreds of times if I thought that I could raise Krishna conscious children. Haribol. So our Acharya is not restricting, but utilized properly. The purpose should be excellent. He would send his brahmacharis out to sell the Gaudiya Math magazine and books. And even if a brahmachari were able to sell only one or two, it would please him very much. And he would exclaim, quote, you are so nice. Very good. In considering whether essays were worthy for publication, he would count how many times the word Krishna or Chaitanya had been used. If these holy names had been quoted sufficiently, he would say, quote, that's all right, these can be used, unquote. He would say in Bengali, Pran ache yar, se hetu prachar. A person must have life to be a preacher. A dead man cannot preach. What a strong sentence. When some of his preachers who had gone to chant and speak reported that no one had attended their meeting, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta replied, quote, that doesn't matter. The four walls will hear you. That is sufficient. Don't be disappointed. Go on chanting, unquote. When I hear it, I remember these pastimes of my Guru Maharaj, that in earlier days in Los Angeles, they had bought the temple facility, and there was another, they were doing like interfaith dialogue with some church, and somehow or other my Gurudev was able to convince them to invite Srila Prabhupada. And they claim that they will announce and most of their members will attend that meeting. And actually what had happened when Prabhupada went, only 2 or 3 people were there. And Prabhupada spoke. And then Gurudev told Srila Prabhupada, very sorry that not that many people came to hear. And then how Prabhupada responded? He said, You didn't see? Lord Brahma was there, Lord Shiva was there, all the demigods were there, all the saintly kings were there. Why do you think only 3 people were there? So sometime, also when we have some house program or something, and not that many people showed up, I was also feeling the same way that I was expecting, because the host will tell you, okay, I'm going to invite all my friends. But they don't care. Even if one person sincerely listens to them, their mission, they feel successful. This is what the Prabhupada has told us. He liked to have one moon rather than millions of stars. So become a moon for Prabhupada. And to become, we have to sacrifice so many things. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj replied, that doesn't matter. The 4 walls will hear you. That is sufficient. Don't be disappointed. Go on chanting. And in commenting on the fact that some of his disciples had fallen away, quote, some of the soldiers will die, he said. They knew, all spiritual master knew, not everyone will survive. It's a very simple process, but we make ourselves complicated. Even Srila Prabhupada disciples, so many run away, fall down. So don't take it for granted, as Sachinandan Swami Maharaj always says. Don't think that you have joined the ISKCON, you will be successful. Don't think that your spiritual master is self-realized, you will cross over the nations of this material existence, unless you put your own effort and become free from this material entanglement. Then and then it's possible. A lot of force, a lot of determination is required. It's not easy. Just to get even one material degree, we spend 25 years. How many exams, how much study we do to get just a material degree. And most of the time we have seen that they don't use that education, what they received. They do something else. So this is, the process is simple, but we have to be so strict with our sadhana. Otherwise, we will also fall away from this path. So he said, he did not want his disciple to lead an easygoing life. He once criticized a disciple as being ease-loving, nor should they attempt to practice austerity in seclusion. He would sing a song of his own compositions, Dushtamana, Tume Kisera Vaishnava. My dear mind, what kind of Vaishnava are you? You know, when I see some devotees, they get little swept away by the difficulty in the material life. I always remind them, how can you claim that you are the disciple of so-and-so Guru Maharaj? And then they will become serious sometime. That has worked, I have seen that. You are chanting Hare Krishna in a solitary place, imitating the great saints Haridas Thakur and Rupa Goswami, but your meditation is actually to think of woman and money. Your mind is filled with such dirty things, so your bhajan is simply cheating, unquote. If transformation of the heart doesn't happen by chanting the holy name of Krishna, we know for sure that we are making so many offenses while chanting the holy name. That's the problem. Inattentiveness and material attachments are the main root cause of inattentiveness. Therefore, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta never liked to open a branch of the Gaudiya Math in a place that was not very much populated. So this is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj is go where the big cities are there, open many centers. I heard that now, I visited New Jersey. There are how many they divided from one original New Jersey temple to I think 3 or 4 centers. This is how we should do. But I highly recommend that keep it at the preaching center. Don't install the deities and get into so much endurance to maintain the deity worship. Just spread the holy name. Abhay went on listening to his spiritual master at every opportunity, but rarely did Abhay put a philosophical inquiry before him. He preferred simply to listen. Srila Prabhupada, in his own words, is describing, I never ask my spiritual master a question except one, how shall I serve you? Unquote. I think we should stop here. Krishna has made the arrangement to stop at the perfect place, easy to remember, and it's very profound. So many things we will learn, but if we cannot dedicate our life practically to serve the mission, we have not made the advancement, or we have not become attached to the words of our spiritual master. How can we be neglectful of his instructions? And we have to become strong ourselves first before you can save someone else. If we are ourselves weak, how can you make someone strong? Impossible. So Krishna wants us to be very strong in our practices. And I think this quorum is helping us to become strong, vibrant. So, and this, as I receive so many devotees comment personally, that since they have started chanting that 8-time Hare Hare prominently, they are realizing that they feel so happy. Before that, they never. And that happiness should come. Then and then we will be inclined. Then we will be easily able to give up the laziness of this material world and wake up on time, join on time, and enjoy your life. Everything else you do during the daytime. But morning time, we should become so strong that during the day, this external energy of Krishna should not touch us. That fix we should be. And that's the message. Today reading was so powerful actually. Read it again, if you have a chance. It's wonderful, or hear it. We have the recording. You can hear during the daytime and absorb on the thoughts. What is our duty as a disciple in ISKCON moment? Otherwise, one day we will fall down. Remember this. So with those thoughts, the devotees who has to go and perform their household affairs and duties, they are most welcome to leave. But before they leave, we would like to offer our humble obeisances at the desk of their feet. Vanchakalpatarubhasya kripa sindhubhaya vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo.